This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast
With Tony Brueski.
We are talking today with Eric Faddis, a trial lawyer, civil and criminal litigator, former felony prosecutor, and one of our favorite guests. I want to go and put this into a scenario of what if, Eric. So let's play along. What if, this is the fun one, what if you were the attorney for Rex Heuermann right now? How exactly would you be advising your client?
Yeah, maybe I'm advising them that I'm filing a motion to withdraw because as you said, it does appear really problematic at this point. It looks like the investigation has been pretty darn thorough. He's still just accused at this point. These are still allegations. But things are mounting against Rex Heuermann.
Yeah.
You look at some of the phone activity. You look at some of the DNA links that the prosecution claims to have. They're really building this case, and it's becoming very public. I would advise the client to not make any statements, to lay low, to really digest all of this evidence that's coming in, and then strategically devise a plan from there.
Yeah, I mean, and there probably can't be any sort of plan that can be devised as of yet because they're still digging, they're still pulling things out, we're still learning things every single day. With something like this, as damning as this appears to be getting, with not a lot of question, either it appears if he is in fact the killer, then that's not good. That's going to end up with life in prison or death. I don't know if that's an option in the area. Or be in jail for the rest of your life on porn charges, because that looked pretty damning too. Just the list of things that he was searching for and the things that they found on his computer. Either way, this appears to be an individual that's likely going to be in prison for the rest of their life, if not pretty damn close to.
Yeah, I mean, some alarming allegations coming forward in the days most recently. And it's kind of bizarre because, a lot of people saw him as just the normal dude next door. He was an architect. He had some allegedly high profile clients like Catholic Charities, American Airlines. A lot of people didn't expect this from this accused gentleman here. Now, in looking at it, in these types of killings, oftentimes there are not a lot of witnesses nearby. These things happened years and years ago. And so are there some potential avenues for defense? There certainly could be. And we'll have to kind of see how that evidence against him shakes out. But yeah, not looking good, and some pretty troubling accusations from the government regarding what this guy was into.
When we're looking at DNA evidence in this case, what they've said they found thus far is two different human hairs on the burlap sacks that were used to cover the victims on the beach. And the two different hairs that were found, one they believe belonging to Rex himself, the other believed at this point, and I don't believe it's been officially confirmed, but to a female at the same residence, which would likely be his wife if you just deduct who that could possibly be. It's like double DNA, and I'm not saying in any way that she was involved. I'm guessing it's kind of one of those things where you live in a house and your hair strands gets around to all different sorts of places. How does that make the DNA evidence even more of a slam dunk when you're able to pull and find two different strands of DNA from the same residence of the person you suspect of being this criminal?
Assuming that DNA conclusion is valid, because, DNA is fallible too. But assuming that it's valid, it's going to be pretty hard for Rex to try and explain his way out of that. And, there are some murmurs on the internet that hasn't been established yet, but some people are saying that he may have had a female accomplice. And so we don't know exactly how that piece of this whole case is going to play out. But yeah, the DNA link, if it is valid, I don't see very many ways around that, and so that really ties him to at least one of these victims. And if he's tied to one, they're going to try to tie him to all of them. I think there are allegedly 18 victims involved, but he's only charged with 3 murders right now.
And as time will go on, one has to wonder. We're looking at it right now, 2023. These occurred in 2010. One has to wonder, was this the only isolated incident this time in 2010, or Do these span even further back to other places? Is this something that had continued on? These sort of things don't usually just happen right in a bubble for an individual with this sort of a personality.
Yeah, no question. And I've heard that the investigation is sort of spreading out beyond Long Island, and they're looking into Vegas, they're looking into the South Carolina, places where Rex Heuermann frequented to see, did he leave any trace? Did he leave any evidence there? Did he commit any unspeakable act there? This thing could continue to snowball and really become a massive case against Rex Heuermann, but we'll have to kind of see how that plays out in the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you look at this because there's so many headlines and so many angles. There's rabbit holes all over, and I know I haven't gotten to all of them yet. One you had mentioned was the rumor of a female accomplice. Tell me, what do you know about that? What are the allegations? What are the rumors at this point? And I stress rumors about that angle.
Yeah, totally. My understanding is it hasn't been established at this point. There are just some people talking about it. The government hasn't been terribly open about all of the evidence they have, but some have suggested, mostly online from what I see, that there may have been a female who assisted him in this. Did the female lure these potential victims into a horrible situation with Rex? Was the female involved somehow in setting up some of these alleged interactions? I think that's what's kind of being investigated presently. And when you look at just the sheer number of potential alleged victims, I say potential because it's an ongoing investigation. One would think that it would make sense that he might have some help or need some help in order to pull off all of these alleged murders if it was in fact him who did it.
And it makes you, wonder, well, why would anyone want to assist Rex Heuermann in murdering hookers? It's like, what is it? But look no further than Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. There's sometimes these relationships form and you really can't explain them. Granted, it's a different type of situation, but sometimes those sort of things do exist. I think we are far from understanding the complexities of this case right now, but just on the surface, it is a tidal wave of insanity.
Yeah, agreed. It's alarming stuff, and I think it's only going to get more problematic and more chilling as the evidence the government claims to have begins to come to light even more.
This is an examination of the hidden human condition
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast
with Tony Brueski.